introduction is that my wife, Melissa, who happens to be sitting in the audience, is an HAC board member. So I've had a chance to hear firsthand about HAC's work. But I should say that in 10 years of marriage, I testified in front of Congress about, I don't know, maybe a dozen times. I've talked in Washington a number of times. This is the first time she's actually come to hear me speak. Apparently she hears me enough at home. So a special thank you for that. Since I'm a technologist, I will stay away from the technology but talk a lot about technology. Let me start by talking about one of my favorite things that Google is working on, which is something called Google Translate. How many people here actually use Google's translation tools? That's awesome. Although, considering that some of you are diplomats, that's a little troubling. I hope you don't rely on it exclusively. So this is a tool that Google built. Some engineers had this great idea. By looking at the web and all the content that's on the web, and by having a lot of machines that are good at learning things about content, maybe we could build this translation tool. And we were able in a relatively short time to build a tool that is offered for free on the internet, where you can go to websites and translate them between languages. And we've gotten the tool to be pretty good. In a lot of cases, it's probably one of the best machine translation tools that you can get that are available commercially. Sometimes we can rely on human translation. And we now have it available, I think it's in 57 different languages. I don't think they're coinciding with 57 countries here today. But there are 57 different languages, including, Urdu, traditional Chinese, Arabic, of note Hebrew, and Yiddish, all different translation tools. So, this thing, it's offered, you can go to any website, and you can get it translated into English. More importantly, you can get it translated into any of the English websites, but it's a huge number of English websites translated into any of these 57 different languages. So that is really cool, and it's kind of a modern miracle. But I have a phone here that is actually really good at, and you can get these Android phones or a lot of phones that have this Google voice recognition tool. So I can speak into this phone, and it's gotten pretty good at taking my voice and turning it into text. In the very near future, we are going to have devices and services that are available where I can walk up to a hotel, person behind a desk in a hotel in many, many different countries. That person can speak to me in a language that I don't understand. I can have them speak into my phone, have that phone turn that voice into text, take the text and translate it into a language I do understand, read it out to me in my little Bluetooth earpiece, and do that in real time. This is not science fiction. This is something that is going to happen in the next couple of years. I've even seen demos of it, and it is going to be really life-altering for many, many people. Already we can do, this isn't available, but I think it will be soon, you can have people around the world who are instant messaging with each other through something like Skype or Google Chat, and one person could be instant messaging in one language, and another person could be chatting in another language, and the tool could be translating it between the languages, and people may never know that they're actually speaking different languages. The world is really getting to be a smaller place, and it's going to be remarkable tools in terms of promoting access to information and promoting understanding between people around the world. It's a very exciting time. So I guess I want to talk a little about technology, but really to say, I think my theme is that technology and the tools that we're talking about have tremendous potential to promote understanding and to promote democracy around the world and access to ideas, but they are also tools that are not, this openness and access to tools is not inevitable. The freedom that we come to expect, that we've been talking about already tonight, online, is not inevitably something that we actually are going to need to go out and fight and protect if we think it's important. So just a few more words about technology. We are really in the middle of a revolution. It's not something that was a one-time thing that stopped. The pace of change, if anything, is going faster as well. We are in the middle of a revolution in computing power. This phone that I held up has a 1 gigahertz processor. It's like a supercomputer from a few years ago. Right? My last computer that I bought 5 years ago, before the one I just bought, was a 1 gigahertz computer. We've got a revolution in connectivity. We have 2 billion people online already, and we're doing things to try to get more and more people online all the time. really exciting is we're in a revolution in mobility. So we've got 2 billion people online, but there are over 4 billion people with mobile devices. And many of those mobile devices are going to become gateways onto the internet. So in a very short period of time, we're going to have billions, literally billions of new internet users who for the first time are going to have access to this world of information that's online. And we're building these tools around it. So what does this mean? It means that we've got literally billions of people who are going to have access to information that they never, and services that they never had access to before. We've also got a world where people are creators. Everybody's a creator. So Google operates a site called YouTube, a video site. Every minute on YouTube, 35 hours of new video is uploaded. So every minute, 35 hours are uploaded. Since our introductions began 45 minutes ago, over 2 months worth of video has been uploaded to YouTube, right? The pace, the volume of creation is incredible. And it's not just on YouTube, it's what's happening in social media. Everybody's a publisher. Whether you're a tweeter or a Facebook poster, 500 million people using Facebook now. A site that, 6 years ago didn't exist, right? So the pace of change is really staggering, and it means that people are getting, as I said, we're facing increasing democratization of both access to information and ability to create information. And it's a very, let's say, an exciting time and a very disruptive time. And because of that, we're seeing a backlash. And this is part of what is of great concern to companies like Google and many others around the world. There was an old conventional wisdom that freedom online was inevitable. If you have the internet, you inevitably have freedom, you have access to information. I think the new conventional wisdom is actually, you don't think we can control the internet, watch us. Freedom House, a human rights group that's documented, they 40 different countries who they now put in the category of internet censoring governments. This has very much been Google's experience. In the last few years, our services have been blocked in 25 different countries. We had a very well-publicized situation in China about a little less than a year ago. But it's not something that's just about China. Google, you cannot get YouTube right now in Turkey because of some videos that violate laws about insulting Turkishness. YouTube's been blocked in Pakistan because of some politically sensitive videos. It's been blocked in Thailand because of videos that were posted that said desecrated the monarchy, which is criminal in Thailand. These are hard issues, but they're also serious issues for people who care about the ability to access information around the world. And it's not just outright censorship, it's the question of what kinds of rules are we going to develop, what kinds of protections are we going to offer to people who offer these services around the world so that people can get access to them. It's not all bleak. I will say that there's a lot that can be done. So there's actually, I think, a shared responsibility that we have as a community, as an internet community, to try to promote freedom online. We think it's important. And I think there's a lot of good reasons why it is. Google, we're trying to do our part. We've been trying to be very transparent about the kinds of requests we do get to either take information off the internet or when our services are blocked. So we have a new tool that we launched a couple weeks ago, Government Transparency Report. If you go to Google and you type in, or any of your favorite search engines, I'm told this works on Bing also, and you type in Google Transparency Report, you'll see a map that will show you all the requests that we've gotten from governments in aggregate to take information down from our sites. You can also see an aggregate the number of requests we've gotten from each government for information about our users. We've also launched a new tool called the Google Traffic Report, where you can see in real time different Google services and whether or not they're being blocked. So you can go, in fact, and see that in earlier in May of this year, there was, if you look at Pakistan, you look at YouTube, you can see how there's a kind of like dip tools like this, they don't give a complete picture. It's just one company, one set of services. But what we can do is try to start by giving people more information about what's really going on right out there and what kind of access is available. We're also part of a group called the Global Network Initiative, which is a kind of very unique collaboration of companies and human rights groups, investors, trying to promote good practices for deploying services in countries, when we'll go in and when we won't, what the rules should be. But I think the issue is that no one company and no single industry can really tackle this problem on its own. What we really need is help from you all. What we need is help from governments to try to promote these values if we think they are important. We call them very appreciative of the efforts of the State Department. Secretary Clinton's very important speech from last winter, talking about the importance of internet freedom and the challenges that come with it, are very helpful. But I think this is something where we all as a community are going to need to work together if we want to promote freedom. So I would just close by saying how grateful I am to have this opportunity to talk here with a community like this. I think if you, just for the Jewish community, and I would say this as somebody whose wife is on the HAC board, if you type in the word Jew into Google or Bing or Yahoo, you will get a set of results that many people would find incredibly offensive. At Google and some of the other companies have done this too. We've tried to deal with that by not removing that content because a lot of it is not unlawful. A lot of it doesn't violate our terms of service. What we've done is we've put an ad on the top, public service announcement on the top of that page that explains why people are seeing those results. And ultimately, I think the way to deal with unpopular speech and the challenges that come from access to these tools is with more speech. And it's a huge challenge for all of us. But our belief is that on balance, more information is good. The greatest antidote to tyranny is access to ideas. And we're proud to do our part to try to promote that. And it is something that's going to be a shared responsibility. Freedom is not an inevitability, it's something we all need to work towards. I look forward to your questions, and thank you for having me.
Don't go, except you, Alan. What I'd like to do is invite Alan and Eliana to come up to the desk, and then we will have some questions, and then